Hey Eurovision fans, it's time for another Eurovision reaction video, and today we're checking out the 7 songs from the Czech National Final, ESCZ. The live performances happened during the first part of the final last night, and voting is open for 1 week. I'm going to react to all 7 of the studio versions of these songs, tell you what I think about each one, and what could be best for Czechia in Malmö. So let's kiki. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tom. I'm an Irish Eurovision analyst, and you can find all of this stuff on my Eurovision channel. So don't worry if you already saw the first 3 songs from the video I put out last week. 3 of the songs were kind of not leaked, but released early, and so I reacted to those before the final happened. I'm just going to slip those in. If you already watched that video, just go to this time in the video and you can catch up the other 4. You won't miss anything, don't worry. Then once I've reviewed all 7, I'll talk about them, which ones I like, which one I think would do best for Czechia, and then there's kind of like slight controversy about the differences between the live versions and the studio versions and what's more important. I need my headphones out, don't I? Sorry about the background. I know it's quite busy. Some redecoration happened while I was away. I think it looks nice, but yeah, if you don't like how busy this is, I can try and find somewhere else to film. So first of all, let's check out the 3 reactions I did to Elly, Mydy and Thomas Robin. So I may need to distort or clip the audio to comply with copyright, but I'll do the minimum possible, and if I do any modifications, I'll put this episode up on my Patreon with all of the original audio, so go check that out. Okay, so first up we've got Mydy. I'm not sure how to say that name, if it's Mydy or Mydy. The song is called Red Flag Parade, which is such a cool title. Oh my god, it's really cool. It's like proper one of the best titles already this season. I don't recognize any of the songwriters, unfortunately. Wait, let me do a quick check of who Mydy are. So she is a fiery red-headed lady. So I'll post her picture up here. Pop. Red Flag Parade. Wanna know my secret? Bang. Ooh. Oh, damn. Edgy. Whoa. Yes, bitch. Oh, bop. Bop. Oh, what a great start to the season. Red Flag Parade. Okay, so it's red flag as in like when you're dating. This is really cool. Really lovely, fun production. It's got like a bit of an edge to it. Got a great beat to it as well. This is really strong start so far. Oh, some electronic production in there as well. I don't know if the chorus has a like massive impact, but I'm liking it so far. It's got definitely interesting, fun, kind of quirky. Poison, poison, poison. Okay, I'll try and pick up on the lyrics because the lyrics sound cool. Yeah, the lyrics are super fun. I think he's talking about like a real toxic girl. Is it a red flag parade? That is a great lyric. And we're her marching band, so they're supporting this red flag girl. It's a disaster bop girl and they love her. I think I like the verses more than the chorus. It's still super joint. It sounds really Czech. This kind of like slightly unusual production, just being a little bit different. It feels Czech to me. I wish that electronic elements of the chorus were just a bit punchier. It's still really cool. I'm really enjoying this. Ooh, some bubbles going off. She's having a bubble bath with her red flags. Climax. Yeah, not as much gross as I'd like into the last chorus. I can see myself downloading this though. It's definitely fun. They say she's a witch, but she's a bitch. I think they're saying bitch there. Okay, really fun. Definitely the strongest part for me of that was the lyrics. I love that idea of a red flag parade. You know, in case you don't know, red flag is like when you're talking to someone on a dating site or something like that, and they send off a signal which is like alarm bells. She's got a red flag parade, as in she's got so many red flags. She's just like a big mess. Her life is kind of crazy, but they stan her anyway. So I kind of like that lyrics. It's really fun. I wish the song had grown a little bit more because I did feel like the intro really grabbed my attention. and then it kind of was just very similar for 3 minutes. I didn't feel like the evolution in that. But that's the type of thing that she can maybe portray on stage. She can add in new visual elements. She can ad-lib more towards the end. The other thing is that if she did win, she can just do a revamp to add in a bit of spice, because obviously they've got 5-6 months now to work on their song until May. They've got over 6 months from when they win the national final. Really, really great start. Let's get to the second song. We're going to go to Thomas Robin. He's singing Out of My Mind. And it does look, there's 2 Thomases in the songwriting, so I assume one of them is Thomas Robin. So Robin must be his artist name. And yeah, he's a handsome chap. He's got a kind of like slightly alternative looking style. The song is called Out of My Mind. Wanna Know My Secret? Bang.
I still remember the rainy day. I was sitting on the sidewalk, waiting for the train.
I do get a Swedish feel in the opening there, but it's still early days. Yeah, nice build up. Yeah, it's going good so far. Got a singer-songwriter kind of feel. Oh, okay. Ooh, yes. Okay, that's a lovely beat. Very thumpy and bassy, really nice. Build. Okay, he's time to build. I would think it was surprising the first verse because it sounded a bit tame and he looks a bit edgy, but then the chorus gave the edge I wanted, so that was nice. That's why I was a bit flat in the first verse. Okay. The verses sound kind of, I wouldn't say they sound Melfesty, but they're a little bit more, they're not as edgy as the chorus, definitely. Here we go. Yeah. This is really good quality. Very well produced. It just sounds well done, well written. Yeah, that's a lovely progression. Beautiful electronic elements there. Love that synthy pop. I want it to really explode now. Yeah. It's very solid. It doesn't have the type of edge I kind of expect from Czechia. It's really, really, really solid. It could be in Norway national final, Swedish national final. It's got a little bit of universality about it. Lovely ad-libs at the end. This is really gorgeous. I'll definitely download this. Yeah, this is really high quality. Really, really, really nice. That was really good quality. I do feel like the choruses were better than the verses, which is pretty common for a lot of pop songs anyway. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. We did actually know that they were having trouble picking 5 songs, and the head of delegation, is his name Jan Boris? Oh no, that's the old delegation. The head of delegation was saying that actually they chose 7 this year because they weren't able to whittle it down. They weren't able to remove 2 of them. They said, screw it, we're just gonna go for 7 instead. So like, I'm getting it already. If those are 2 of the 7 songs, I totally would also put them into a national final as well. So that's great that they're kind of adjusting the national final based on what they receive, instead of saying like, you know, with Malta, they like, we're gonna have 36 songs. It doesn't matter what we get, we're just gonna do 36. They are actually tailoring it to, if we receive more good ones, we'll do more. If we receive less, we'll do less. That's great. I think that's a cool, adjustable, flexible national final. Really great. Okay, and then it's Elly singing The Angel Share. That is another freaking super cool title. The main songwriter is Argal Singh. So I wonder, is that Elly's real name? I'm not sure. In any case, we're gonna go to the song. It's called The Angel Share by Elly. Wanna Know My Secret? Bang. All these songs start very punchy. They start very quickly. She's got kind of like a vintage retro style in this photo. Okay, lovely starting, kind of like mystical. The angels share that we pay to heaven. Okay. Okay. Nice build up. Feels like the pre-chorus. Okay, this is definitely like building up anticipation. I'm getting some slight tattoo vibes in the production, the electronic production. Okay, chorus. The construction feels very similar to Tattoo. Was that the chorus? I think so. It definitely feels like it's building up intensity as we go along. Nice little tappy. It's making me think of the forest for some reason. I like a forest beat. I learned to love again. Ooh. Okay, it's very Tattoo-esque, but it's still good. It feels different from Tattoo. It feels like it's come from a different country, but the template's the same. Really lovely though. She's singing it very nicely. And it's giving me lots of Game of Thrones as well, especially this part. Okay, building up into a climax. Yeah, it feels like Game of Thrones Tattoo. Sorry to keep saying it, but it does really remind me of that. Just I do like songs that build up that intensity though. I feel like we're definitely in the final chorus. Yeah, I was kind of hoping there was just going to be a little bit extra at the end there where she kind of went into like, when she went off script and went into some lovely like whirling, flirling ad-libs all over the place, kind of very singy, but that didn't happen. Still very high quality. I have to admit now, I possibly had slightly expectations for that because that's the song I've seen the biggest reaction to online. I don't think I've seen anything said about the other two. Just Elly, everyone kind of saying Elly's their winner. That could just be the people that I follow on Twitter though. Of those three, yeah, really, really high quality. I don't know if something like jumped out to me like this is a winner. You know, when you hear a song that ends up being in your top 10 of the year. But actually, funny, I remember that Lights Out by Weird Dami. When I did that video, it was my number 3 song in that final, and it ended up being in my top 10 for the whole year. So definitely you can hear songs and they don't have that impact initially, and then as they grow and you just fall in love with them. So now we're back to the present day. We've got Aiko singing Pedestal. And actually, funnily enough, this was released 2 months ago. So actually, I wonder how many of the songs actually came out before the show. So that's 4 now by the current count. Okay, this is a music video. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it or not. Again, I'll show as much as I can. If anything gets blocked, I'll put it on my Patreon. Aiko singing Pedestal, Wanna Know My Secret Plan. Now, obviously I saw the live performances, so there's going to be no major shocks. But this sounds much better, studio version. It's got a grungy feel to it. Lovely. She's got a very clear image as well. She's got a very strong look. Yeah, it's so different here in the studio version. It's got great progression as well. Feels like it's constructed very well so far. Putting myself on a pedestal is a really easy concept to understand as well, which I really like. Just about self-respect. Yeah, that's a really, really great first verse and chorus. It's got a really obvious persona, and it gets it across very quickly. See, I'm already confused now because I kind of, had I written this off? No, but I wasn't considering it as much, and now I'm reconsidering it because this studio version is much better. I don't feel massive growth now coming into the second verse. Okay, no, it is a bit different. Just give me a bit of Christmas there. Yeah. It's just gonna be different. We just don't really have that much stuff like this in Eurovision. So just by default, it's gonna stand out. It's gonna be unique. Yeah. Gosh, I'm really being sold on this now. Oh, nice. I like a bit of ad-lib coming in there. Lovely. Yeah, God, I'm kind of confused now what to think. Eurovision like one aspect of Eurovision is very much who you're up against. And if you're up against 25 pop songs and you're a rock girly, kind of rocking out, you're just going to stand out. You're going to be on a pedestal and everyone else is going to really notice you. A bit like France was on her pedestal last year. Yeah, that was good. That was much... I didn't think it was bad when I saw the live performance, but because she went first and the acoustics weren't great in the national final, it kind of made it feel like the performance was a tiny bit, not a flop, but didn't go great. But within the context of the whole thing, actually in hindsight, it did go okay. But it kind of went into my head. I just realized that because I started watching, I was like, well, this is really, really good. Why did I have it in my head that this was out of the running? It's not out of the running at all. Wow, this is really confusing. It's really confusing because we've got 4 really great studio versions so far and then iffy live performances. It'll all become clear as we review more. Okay, next up is Gianna Lei singing Starlet. She released it, okay, so she just released hers, so this was a new song. And we've no music video, so we need to worry about visuals. Wanna know my secret plan? Now the live performance of this did not go well. Spoiler. Like this studio version will have to be amazing, I think, to make me want to ignore the live show. No, already the first 30 seconds isn't amazing enough. Yeah, no. I'm not saying the song is bad, I'm saying it's not wow enough to compensate for what happened last night. So in the live show she was very off key, it just didn't sound good. And particularly for a song that has less ambience behind it, I think it is easier to sing. She's got less stuff ringing around in her ears. And then it's giving me some like ESCZ vibes from Estonia. Why am I getting that vibe? Ooh. Yeah, like this has got some nice production in it. I just don't think it's impactful enough. It's not particularly groundbreaking, and in the national final where some of the other songs are kind of like cool and new feeling, this feels more standard. It's got a slight plottiness to it as well. Yeah, I'm waiting for this to be over, sorry. I think it's just gonna, yeah. I think even without the live performance happening last night, that is my least favorite of the ones. It's not bad, it's just not stirring me in any way. It's not evoking anything in me. It's just fine, kind of easy listening. I'm pretty sure that's gonna come 7th. Okay, next up we've got Lenny. Did she release hers recently as well? Okay, so she also just released it a day ago, so this was a fresh one. Wanna know my secret bank? She's the only person with a hyperlink, which you know I find extremely impressive. Feels like I'm wasting my time. I thought her vocals sounded good on the stage. I reap what I sow in my heart on my sleeve. Okay, I'm just wondering though, these type of songs, can this qualify? It's pretty. This is very, it's got an elegance to it, definitely. And her by the piano, that's already an image. What can they do extra staging wise to make it work though? Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely pretty. It's got kind of like an old-timey, maybe 90s ballad feel. It's kind of like, do you go for this, which is a safer, more solid option, or do you go for something a little bit more out there like Aiko? And good enough again. Actually, it's, ironically, not ironically, but it's actually a very similar theme to Pedestal. You know, evaluating your self-worth. And it's nice to have something that's very different pace from everything else. It's much more stripped down, more soft, minimalistic, timeless. Yeah. Okay, actually, a couple of guitars coming in there, actually. That's quite nice. Oh, those violins are nice, actually. Okay, this has got a build. This has got a correct build on it. So, this is competitive as well. Competitive within the final. Qualifying? I don't know. Oh yeah, there's some nice production there as well. Yeah, I like that message is good enough as well. It's very... She's getting the theme across very clearly. So that's going to be a really good connection for viewers. Nice ad-libbing as well. Very stirring towards the end here. Okay. Yeah, this is good quality. Yeah. Really solid, really well produced, really, really, really good quality. Just maybe lacking a little bit of spark or something different, something wild or unusual. Not everyone has to do that though. There's definitely a place for the songs that are a little bit more plain, a little bit more standard, but then it depends who is around you in that semi-final. If everyone else is standard and plain, then you're going to get totally washed out. If everyone else is jumping around with their pants on their head and there's big explosions, this is going to stand out as a rock of morality and sanity. So, it's a little bit, it depends, as opposed to something that's just great and different and new, which is just going to do great regardless. Okay, last up we have Tom Sean, and the song's called Dopamine Overdose, which is a very interesting title. This is just been released, and it has a music video. I will try to show it if I can. If I don't, I'll just try and describe what's happening. Very interested to see what this sounds like in the studio version compared to on stage. Tom Sean, Dopamine Overdose, Wanna Know My Secret Bang. So in case you don't know Dopamine, this could go really, really well or really badly. It's all about how he pulls it off. But it's definitely got potential. It's something different. I just don't think there's going to be anything like that in its semi. So like what I said earlier with Lenny, there's a little bit of like, it's out of her control who else gets drawn in her semi and what songs they are. But like there's not going to be anything like Dopamine Overdose in the semi. So if you want to kind of ensure that you're going to have your own little niche and nobody's going to impose on you, we have several options there. Dopamine Overdose, Pedestals, different salt. Those two are going to stand out no matter which semi-final they're put on. So there's a risk element there, and also Mydy. Mydy's going to stand out to a degree as well. So three really kind of like risky options. For me, Starlet's out. Apologies to any Starlet fans, but the song is fine, but it doesn't have enough oomph. And if you want something that's a bit more safe, I think Lenny just wins that battle pretty comprehensively. And also we know that Gianna just didn't have a very good performance last night. So if we go then that there's three kind of safer options in Thomas Robin, Lenny, and Elly even is not even that super safe, but I suppose it's more conventional pop. Yeah, it's like which side of the aisle do you want to go? This is not a real super obvious one for me at all. Last night I thought that Mydy had the best performance. I thought it looked cohesive, she sounded good, she had great charisma on stage, she was moving about. The four guys behind didn't do particularly much, but it still kind of gave an atmosphere of something happening. Aiko's performance, again, was actually pretty decent in hindsight, but at the time it felt a little bit off because she was the first person we saw with the acoustics that weren't great for everybody. I hope she doesn't get forgotten because she was drawn first, because I really do think that that's got great potential as well. Elly is a big fan favorite. A lot of people loving this online. Let's actually check the Eurovision app now, because I think that is leading the app. No, so Mydy's currently leading on the app, Elly's second, Tom Sean third. Okay, so two of the kind of edgy songs up there. Aiko down in fifth. Okay, so maybe she's kind of out of it. I actually think the Aiko song is different and unusual, and it's the good type of risk. It's not like a huge, crazy, like avant-garde mad risk. It's just something that's going to stand out, which can be a big advantage in a semi-final of 16, 17 countries. We don't know how many countries are in the semi-final yet because there's no participation list. And then you can see that Gianna Lei is kind of a little bit out of it at the bottom. Of the safer options, I originally was team Thomas Robin. I really liked that when I listened to it the first time. I thought his performance was fine. He's a handsome guy. He's got a bit of stage presence. It didn't sound terrible. It didn't sound great to me when he's on the stage. I think no matter who wins, I think a little bit of a revamp would be in order. Thomas Robin, definitely a revamp. Those just adding in something a little bit more special. The verses are kind of Melfest sounding, and then the chorus sounds kind of cool and a bit different, but yeah, the verses are just a bit throwaway. Also, revamp wise, I think Mydy needs a revamp because that first third of the song is really great. I remember being like so hyped, really excited, and then the song just kind of like just got very repetitive and flat for the rest of it. She can count for some of that on the stage, but she has to do so much work. If they just revamp the second and third chorus, then they don't need to have her working her butt off 3 jobs to pay the rent. So yeah, definitely a revamp is needed for those are the two that need revamps the most. I'm actually surprised now by Lenny. I thought that was a really sweet song. I'm just seeing now it's down in 6th place in the rankings, although it's only 800 points behind Tom Sean in 3rd place, so it's not massively behind. That surprised me. That was actually much prettier and had more swell and atmosphere than I remembered on stage. I would be content with the top 6 going, but they need to up their game. This is very different from last year's national final where we had Vesna, who were just the best by an absolute mile, and they had 4 others. This is kind of like a lot of them all, there's like a real small difference between them. So it's like, it begs the question, what is the better national final to have? 1 amazing song and 4 bad ones, and then you end up coming 10? Sorry, not bad ones, but not as strong. Or is it better to have 6 super competitive, very close songs, but then your result might not be as good? Like, I don't see big, obvious qualifiers here. But we know that Czechia have got some really great staging recently. Like, We Are Dummy, their staging was super cool with the exploding statues. Last year, their staging was amazing. So we're expecting an elevation of whatever's picked. We're expecting it to sound better because the vocals are going to be significantly better than they were in the Roxy Club. That's fine. That's Czech delegation working within the limitations of their budget. My instinct is to focus more on the studio versions because I think it's going to sound closer to the studio version than the live version when we get to actual Eurovision. I remember all the controversy last year about Vesna not being able to sing live. They got to the show, they sounded absolutely fine. We just need to accept that Czechia are having a national final club. It's not a big ass studio that's perfect for music. I just put Pedestal as my number 1. I just changed my mind. Mydy feeling number 1 just doesn't feel right to me because there's so much in the second half of the song that just feels too flat. So I need to put that lower. I'm struggling because I'm trying to think, should I rank it based on what I want to download and listen to? Or should I rank it based on what I think is going to look best on the Eurovision stage? Okay. Here's my final top 7. Now, I've got to give a lot of caveats to this. I put Mydy 5th. I would say that she was actually my favorite. They were my favorite performance. It's just like, these are, based on the studio versions that I just watched, this is the top 7 I have. But if you asked to give me a top 7 on the performances last night, let me do another list for that. This is my performance top 7. So yeah, quite different, bloody hell. I think this is a really, really tough one. Look, this is where it's quite nice. It's literally just going to be who gets the most votes. I hope there's no like bot vote or anything, because I would love it to be like a really super democratic thing where we're genuinely just going to find out what do people think are the best. I hope that people are voting are also listening to the studio versions though, and not just going by the live, because as much as people might say, oh, well, if you can't perform live, then you won't be able in Eurovision. We saw last year, that's not true. Vesna were not good live in the final last year, and they were amazing in the final with super cool visuals, and they came 10th. So my main takeaway is look at every single piece of information you have, not just the live final. What's also got potential, because someone might have performed well last night, but their song has zilch potential to elevate, where someone might have had a bad night last night, but their song has got huge potential for growth. All right, anyway, that's what I thought about the 7 songs in Czechia. I definitely want to know which ones you like. This is going to be so close. I'll probably put a poll on my community section as well, seeing what are the top favorites. Thank you so much to Myra and Corgi and Mum for supporting me on Buy Me Coffee. No new donations on PayPal. Thank you to Amanstorm and I'm Stephen for giving me super thanks on my premiere of my last video, and also to Alexo and Shilala for super thanks. So thank you for supporting the channel. If you want to support it yourself, I'll leave you links down in the description below. And as always, thank you so much to all my patrons for supporting me from all over the world. Your support means so much to me. Thank you very much. But as always, thank you to everybody just for watching and maybe leaving me a spicy comment about what you think. So that's it for today. I'll see you in another Eurovision reaction video very soon. Goodbye.